Frank. Hello, Brian. How are you doing? I'm all right, thanks, Frank. What's up with you? Oh, I'm just wondering about how to take over the world. You know how it is. Well, you want to take over the world? Yeah, but I've got a problem. I can't figure out how many steps I should take to do it. Oh, well, look, let me help you, old pal. Look, there's this website. It's called World Anvil. I'll show you how to figure it out. Well, that's very kind of you. I always need help with my plots. Well, World Anvil's just got this new template. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, let's go and have a look. Right. Oh, God. Hello, and welcome to this World Anvil video. Hello, and welcome to this World Anvil video. My name is Guy, and today we're going to look at the second template of the plot template. Now, last week we had a look at one of the new features, and this is the second tab in that. If we go to our plot template, and you can see here adventure. We looked at that last week. Now, the adventure phase is a better or more concise planner for your actual adventure. So you would come up with the adventure, then you move over to the adventure phase planner. Now, what this does is it just helps you refocus how you get into your actual adventure. So oftentimes you come up, oh, this is a great adventure, but where do you start? Where do you actually start the players? Where do you start the game? How do you get into that adventure? That's what the adventure phase is all about. It's going to show you how to do that. So we've got an objective. What is the objective? Again, you repeat that from your original adventure. The objective is to discover a broken sword, or to discover that the sword can be rebuilt. What's your theme? Again, you reiterate your theme. Theme is incredibly important when it comes to designing your adventures and your entire campaign. So it's well worth repeating it time and time again so you can come back to it and remind yourself as to what your theme is about. What do we expect? So we've worked out what kind of adventure it is. It's a thwarting adventure or it's a delivery adventure. We've gone in depth into that. We've had a look at that. We've unpacked that. Now we are going to once again remind ourselves what to expect. We then look at the opening. So what is the opening? How do we get there? What is that initial scene? Is it that we start with the party in a battle, in media res? So they're already in the situation. They are encountering a giant or an ogre. If you look at a lot of action adventure films, frequently, a lot of James Bond films as well, they start with the heroes already having, they're in the middle of a final fight, they complete an objective, they come out as heroes, and then they move into the actual story. Perhaps it's that they're all in a tavern, and the tavern's floor gives way and they fall into an ancient tomb. Perhaps that they are just relaxing on their way on the road. However you decide to start it, that's what you're going to put into your opening section, how to begin it. Now, this is an interesting paragraph. Coolness. What is it that makes it cool? Does it take place on the back of a giant whale? Is that what makes it cool? Is it in the dreams of a long-dead king? Is it a high-speed wagon chase over a chasm of lava? How does the opening that you have chosen, how is it cool? Now, cool doesn't have to necessarily mean spectacular Michael Bay-esque type of things. Coolness could be that there's some really great music and that you found some music and you're going to be playing that music because the song is really a motive of your theme. It's going to really set the tone and the mood. Perhaps it's an opening monologue that you've written that's pretty cool. You have to decide for yourself what is coolness, and you have to also understand your group and go, well, my group thinks that this is what's cool. This is how we like to roll, and I think this is going to be a great way to start. A lot of people know that I like to start when I'm using a role-playing game by starting by just saying, make a check, make a this, make a that, and really kind of get the scene going straight away without these very long, awkward build-ups. That's what you're trying to avoid. NPCs. What NPCs do you have in here? You can, as you can see, I've created a whole lot of characters for an upcoming module that I'm going to be releasing, and so you can actually choose the ones that you have already made and they're now linked through to this, which I think is a fantastic function. You can now link those in. You can do the same with monsters. What type of monsters are they fighting here? Again, I've got a certain number that I've created and you can just select them and add them in. It really makes it useful, especially if you kind of link the stats and stuff to them, that you can then just click on here and then it'll take you straight through to there. Maps. What maps do you have? I haven't loaded up any maps for Braxia in particular, but you can load up maps and link these this area to a starting map. How cool is that? How flexible is that? Then sensors. What are the sensors? You got your 5 sensors that you want to play with. Maybe you want to play with that 6th sense. A lot of fantasy games and some science fiction games have a precognition, a spidey sense, if you like. Why not play with that? You're sitting in the tavern and suddenly the world seems a bit strange. Shadows are longer and darker. The barmaid's clinking of the glasses as she comes over to you just seems sharper and more like dagger strikes than glass on glass. Maybe you want to play with that sense, but whatever sense you want to play, this is the place for you to make notes. I want to, let's talk about the smell of the straw on the floor or the thatch in the roof. Perhaps it's the new carpeting in the starship's interior. Whatever your setting, link your coolness factor to your descriptions and you're going to be absolutely golden. So this is how to launch yourself into your adventure. Add the monsters, add the maps, and the NPCs. And with these 2 templates, you cannot go wrong. And again, you've got a section here for what do you seed. So when you're playing, you'd have this template open, and this is the template that you'd be looking at. Okay, what are my monsters? What are my maps, etc., etc., etc. And occasionally you'd flick back to the actual adventure template where you go, wait, what did I have to do in Act 1? Oh yes, I had to introduce this or I had to introduce that. Right, great. Back to the adventure phase so I can coolness factor, yes. They were fighting over an active volcano. And these are what I'm seeding and adding in. The adventure and adventure phase template really does help you in terms of creating a space, creating an adventure that has structure to it, that's memorable, and that's helped you to write it by giving you some awesome prompts to kind of keep you on track and keep you focused. What more could you ask for? Oh yes, you could ask to light up the forge.